Today is Monday, December the 7th, 2015. Time being 11:41 a.m. Central Time here in Charleston, Missouri. I'm doing an interview on my 88-year-old World War II veteran dad, whose name right now is Johnny A, and the A don't stand for anything, Ivy, I-V-Y. That's Johnnnie. He want to tell part of his story. And here we go. We're going to start with the interview. Because you know, tomorrow is not promised. And I thank God for allowing me and my 9 and 10-year-old daughters to be able to go up to Chicago, Illinois and bring him down here after he lost his second wife. How you doing this morning, Dad? How you doing this morning?
I'm fine, son. How you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed by the best. Blessed by the best. I want to ask you a few questions. Is that all right?
Yes, that'll be okay.
All right. What was your birth name when you was born? What did your parents name you? Talk a little loud so they can hear you.
John A. Ivy.
Okay. And where were you born?
Charleston, Missouri.
Okay, Charleston, Missouri. Probably not in the inner city. And what was it, a little town or something?
That's near Pinhook, Missouri. Pinhook, a place, a little small country there.
Okay, Pinhook, Missouri.
Pinhook, yeah. It
All
really
right.
wasn't really considered, you know.
It wasn't considered a town or nothing back then.
But I think it was recognized, but it wasn't really considered.
What year? What is your birthday? When was you born?
November 19th, 1927.
1927. That's my dad, 88 years old. Now,
Right.
what do you know your biological father's name? Your dad's name? What's your father's name, Dad?
Oh, Ivy, something.
What is his first name?
Barry Ivy. His first name was Barry.
Barry Ivy. What was your biological mother's name? Her maiden name and her last name after she married your dad?
A maiden name and a...
Yeah, what is her full name? Tell us her full name.
Full maiden name, right?
No, just her full name. What was her name? What was your mother's name?
Lula Ivy.
Okay, and her before she was an Ivy, what was her name?
Skates.
Lula Skates.
Right, Lula Skates.
Okay, what I want to ask you, have you ever been in the military?
Yes.
Did you sign up for the military or were you drafted in the military?
Drafted into the military.
How old were you when you was drafted in the military?
18 years old.
18 years old. Before you was drafted in the military, did you go to a high school?
Yes, I did. Lincoln High School.
What's the name of the school?
Lincoln High.
Lincoln High School. And where was that located at? Where is Lincoln High School? Where was it at? What city and state?
Charleston, Missouri.
Charleston, Missouri. And was this a school where whites, blacks, and any race of people was going? Or was this just a certain group of people going there at that time when you was going?
Only blacks that had the black high school separated from the white.
Can you say that a little louder?
The black high school was separated from the white high school.
So back then, it had to be, if you was born in 27, it had to be in the late 30s or early 40s when you was going to Lincoln High School. And back then, they didn't allow blacks to go to the white schools and whites then couldn't go to the black schools. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I say it like this, but blacks couldn't go to the white, could not attend the white school. But I'm not sure whether the white could go to the black school.
Okay, but the blacks definitely couldn't go to the white schools.
Correct.
Okay. Did you graduated from Lincoln High School?
Lincoln High School.
Okay.
No, wait,
I said you graduated from Lincoln High School?
No, I didn't graduate. I was drafted in the military after I attended 2 years of high school. Then I was drafted into the military.
What year, do you remember what year you was drafted in the military?
In 1946. First
What?
part of 1946.
Well, I have your discharge records. It'll back up a little bit to 1945. Do you know?
It was the last part. But it actually would be
1945. That's what your discharge papers. Now,
last
what
part.
what branch of the military were you in? You remember? I know it's kind of hard being 88 and the doctors diagnose you with the dementia, but God give you a good keen sense of memory. Can you remember what branch of the military you was in?
Yeah, I remember that fourth. The number one, the fourth quartermaster.
What was you in the?
Fourth quartermaster training company. That was the name of the place.
Were you in the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, the Navy? Where were you in? National Guards? Where were you in?
The Army.
The Army, the United States Army.
Correct.
Okay. And do you remember when you was discharged? What year?
It was in 1947.
1947, that's right. You went in 1945 according to your discharge papers, and you was discharged. And was you honorably discharged?
It's correct. Yes, I was honorable discharge, yes.
Now, I seen you had some type of medal. I don't know if it's a purple medal because the papers is so old. Do you remember what you got a medal for in the military?
No, I don't recall. I probably can think of it later, but I can't think.
You was telling me earlier something about you was outstanding in the training in boot camp or something like that. Do you recall that?
Oh yeah, in basic, yes, outstanding in the basic training. I was outstanding. I was outstanding drill, walking in drill,
Okay.
Going on hikes like that.
Now, this was in 1945 through 1947. Was black soldiers and white soldiers and was all of you all mixed together in the same barracks? Did y'all sleep in the same barracks?
No, it was segregated. We was not mixed together.
Oh, so all blacks slept in the same barracks, no whites.
Right.
You said they were separated back then?
Yeah, right.
Now tell me this here. Was any of your barracks next to you, another barrack that was next to you, was they white, or how far away was the white barracks from the black barracks back then?
Probably a quarter of a mile.
Quarter of a mile.
Probably
Okay. So that was almost something like here when you was at Lincoln School, almost separated, but they let you in the Army though.
Right.
Matter of fact, you didn't go by choice. You was drafted. That's almost like going by force.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was any of your brothers in the military?
Yes, my brother Ernest.
What is his full name?
Ernest Ivy.
Okay, what did y'all call him? Did he have a nickname?
Yeah, PC.
PC.
PC and Pete, yeah.
Okay. What was he in? Well, do you remember the war he was in? Did he go to war?
Yeah, he was in the wait a minute.
He was in the Korean War. I have his thing. He's buried in Bloomfield, Missouri. Both of you all was drafted from Charleston, Missouri, right?
Right.
Okay. When you got married to my mother, do you remember how old you all were? You can sip your coffee if you have to. Do you remember how old you all were?
Mm-hmm. Oh, when we got married?
Right. You and my mother. You remember my mother's name?
Yeah, Bertha May Wilson, Mike.
What is her full name when she married you?
And we call them Bird May Wilson Ivy.
Bird May Wilson Ivy. You remember how old you all were when you got when you got married?
Yes, I believe I was 21 and she was 18.
Oh, you got a good memory there. Do you remember when you what month, year, and date you all got married?
I don't recall. I recall that it was in December, but I don't recall.
It was December the 10th, 1948, in Chicago, Illinois. Do you remember how many children you all had?
9 children.
9 children. That's right. And tell me this here: did you all leave the state of Missouri and move to Chicago, Illinois?
Yes, I recall.
Is it a reason why you all left? That you didn't want to raise? You didn't want to raise your children down here in Missouri?
Mm-hmm. That was the most main reason, yes.
And tell me why. What was going on in Missouri that made you and my mother not want to raise your children here in the state of Missouri? Was it something that you all seen here in this area we living in now that you didn't want to stay here?
Yeah, some of the words are being used much like nigger.
What word is that again? Say it louder now.
The word used as most times nigger.
And who was they referring to? Who was they talking about when they used that word? Oh, okay. You all didn't want your children to be able to see that.
Right.
You all didn't want your children to be able to go through that.
Right, correct.
And you would think that that was back in the 40s and the 30s and the 40s. You would think this is December of 2015. You would think prejudice is gone by now, wouldn't you?
I would think so. I would think it should be all together, going all together, I would think.
But you have experienced, since you've been back here since October the 26th, 2015, the battles that your son, me, Raymond Lewis Ivy, is going through here in Charleston, Missouri with the racism, haven't you?
Mm-hmm, correct.
But one thing about me, you and my mother taught me how to be a true soldier, how to stand up for right, not wrong, no matter what color a person is. Is that right?
That's correct.
Your mother, matter of fact, your mother have 2 nationalities. Do you remember what her 2 nationalities is? What her race is? She had 2 races. Do you remember? Do you remember what it is? She's black and what else?
So I don't recall it.
She's black. Queen of Bertie, go get that picture of Grandma on my dad's bed. She's black and Irish.
Oh, yeah, I didn't recall that.
Yeah, she's black and Irish. So we have Irish blood in us. Mm-hmm. And I want to just show, here, hold this picture of your beautiful mother there, Dad.
Right.
Hold it up. Now hold it up. Hold it up so we can see it. Now, turn it towards me. Turn it towards me so I can let people see. Watch your fingers a little bit. Look at that. That's my beautiful grandmother. Her name is Lula Skates Ivy.
Right.
What year did your mother pass away, Dad? Your biological mother. What year did she pass away?
What year?
Yeah, what year did she pass away?
I recall 1940. Some people were saying 1939, but I recall the correct time was 1940.
Right. One of your brothers says 1939 around December, and you said it was around 1940, but it is around the same thing. Do you remember how old you were?
I know it was 1940 because I remember at the film. Said, Mr. Brewer Ivy. She was 40 years old. 1940, 40 years old. I remember seeing that film. I remember those words being said at the funeral.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Now, a couple more things I want to ask you right now. And I want to ask you, do you think or do you wish that things would change as far as people being racist? Because back then, did it seem like one race thought they was better or more than others?
Yes, white actually. Mm-hmm.
Who was it?
Yes, white race. Yeah, white. They seem right. They seem that they believe that they are actually more
Okay, we're going to end this right here. Thank you a lot.